people, misery loves company, and people sometimes have a hard time seeing others flourish. They want to bring you down and they want to make you feel as bad as they do, or maybe even subconsciously. I find that I'm very much impacted by people's vibrations. So if I'm surrounded by if I'm next to someone who's having anxiety, who's always anxious, always stressed, then I can feel myself starting to get stressed myself, and I feel like it really impacts me. And so it and so so they have more of a tendency to talk negatively, or there's so many self-proclaimed experts these days. People think that just because they read something on Instagram or because they saw a video on TikTok, suddenly they're experts and they know everything there is to know without actually, you know, really understanding. So it's important to know where to get your information from, to know who to speak to, and what it is you're trying to learn about yourself or to learn about your life, what you're trying to change. And that way you know who to turn to. There's certain things that you just need to like let out and vent and talk to a friend, and there's certain things that you need someone who can, sometimes also with friends, they're like a bit too close for comfort, or they feel bad saying something that might hurt your feeling. Whereas if you go for a coaching session with Marty, let's say, she's gonna be able to, in a very professional and compassionate way, tell you, look, this is your blind spot. This is what you're missing. This is where you need to focus on, which is something that a friend might not be able to even see because they're not an expert, and B, they might be too nice to say it to your face. So
Yeah, I think getting those different perspectives is like key
hmm
with that. Especially when with
yeah,
the coaching, right? I mean, even like athletes and sports coaches, you're not going to see
exactly, yeah.
that you're, dribbling the ball
hmm
wrong until someone
yeah,
points it out, and a way that you can do it better that's going to improve your game. Same thing with
yeah,
life. Anything that comes to us where, we're getting an opinion from someone else, sometimes it's hard to hear it from someone who's really close to us.
yeah.
But I feel like when it comes from a coach like me, someone who is neutral, who doesn't know like the ins and outs of your life, but can point something out and, hey, what about this over here? Well, they've never thought about it that way. And so, yeah, getting those different perspectives from the right people, like Allison said, make sure they are the right people. Like, don't go ask,
hmm
swimming coach how to dribble a basketball, because, two different,
yeah,
two complete different topics there, sports there. And so, you got to get the right people and ask obviously the right questions if you're trying to get to something. But if not, that coach is going to be able to point things out that are going to help you, and maybe see things in a different light that are going to help you on that journey, whatever it is you're on, whether if it's to self-awareness, to confidence, to self-love, it's going to help you.
yeah. I just read Stephen Bartlett's book. Well, I heard the book. I don't know if that's considered reading it, but and he said that, and he was like, he had it's called the 33 Laws for Business and Life or something like that. And so I think he was talking about how it's not how you do it, it's who you do it with. So it's not supposed to ask how, but who. And I think he was talking a little bit more about business in this part, but I think it's right in everything in life. It's not about just how you're going to do something or how you're going to get somewhere. It's about who you're surrounding yourself with, or who you're asking for help from, who's going to help you do this, whose
Yeah.
advice are you going to take. Yes, you need to learn how to fend for yourself and be strong on your own, and how to also, you know, self-reflect and do introspection work and things like that. But it's also really important to have the right people in your life and the strong support system of people that are able to help you in the right ways.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think what would help, I haven't consumed the book, reading or listening to it,
Ah,
but I
I
listen to
love
his
it.
podcast now thanks to you, Michelle. And
Thank
something
you. You
else that
should.
he, yeah, and something else that is, surrounding yourself by the right people and having but a clear vision of what you want your life to look like is key.
Hmm.
Because I think the problem with so I deal with people who want to get into a healthy relationship, and they don't have a clear vision of what a healthy relationship looks like. They are just fleeing singlehood, and I'm just like, no, that's wrong. Because then you will get into
Hmm.
a relationship with just anyone, and you want to, what does being in what does so for me being in a relationship look like? But it can be, what does your life look like in 10 years? And you know and if 10 years from now your life does not have a romantic partner in it, because you want to concentrate on traveling, on career, on whatever, then that's fine. But if it does have that, and you need to just figure out, what does that mean? What does he or she have? What does he or she bring to you? And then you know who to look for, and who to date, or who to avoid, and things like that. And then you know why you're single, because you're holding out for not the perfect person, because I've got the perfect person. Sorry, guys, I'm sorry.
Oh,
But it's just, you know what you're kind of, you're not right for me. You need to leave, and I'm going to wait for the one
yeah.
that's right for me,
I
clearly,
think most,
authentically.
yeah, I think most people have no idea what a relationship is supposed to be like. I think we grew up with the notion that it's supposed to be this happy fairy tale fireworks love. And I talk about this a lot, and I'll keep talking about it as much as I can because it irks me to no end. And I've been hearing this all over Love is Blind, where people go, I'm looking for that spark. I'm looking for someone to sweep me off my feet. I'm looking for someone who's going to blow my mind. And you see all these, especially, I'm sorry, especially in America, um, how the Hollywood love and the fairy tale, and I'm like,
Yeah.
no, no, it now that I'm in the correct relationship for me, now that I'm in a healthy relationship, I realize how twisted that notion is.
Mm.
And this goes both ways, because I've up till not long ago I followed someone, I'm not going to name her, but I followed someone on Instagram who's a huge advocate for singles, and I think it's important, it's amazing. But I feel like there's certain times where she goes too much in that direction, where, you know, don't let anyone tell you there's nothing wrong with you, and don't let anyone say that, you need to make compromises and whatever it is. I'm like, no, that's also really dangerous, because then people are looking exactly for that. They're looking for the perfect. They're looking for something that's unattainable, and they're looking for something. They're going, I don't want to settle, which is true. You shouldn't settle, but you should also understand that there's compromises that need to be made. There's certain things that it's just never going to be perfect, and I don't like the extremists from both sides. Of one side saying,
Mm.
don't settle at all and don't compromise and just wait it out until you find the perfect person, and then the other side that shows that fairy tale love and the sparks and the fireworks. So you sort of, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I think that compromising part is huge, because what you're saying brings up the part where there's people that will say, oh, well, you want all of this, right? You want a guy to have the 6-figure income. You want him to be tall. You want him to be fit. You want him to treat you like a queen. What are you bringing to the table? What are you
Mm-hmm.
offering that man, that dream man? Don't you think that dream man is going to want a dream woman? Are you that dream woman?
Yeah.
And if you're
Mm-hmm.
not, then change some stuff, because
Yeah.
you're not going to
Yeah.
get that guy with your attitude, or with your, bad, unrealistic image of what that relationship is supposed to look like. So that is really, really important. I love that you said that, because we got to compromise. We got to change ourselves too. Like, if I had stayed that bitter, single, dumped girl,
Mm-hmm.
sad ass girl that I was when I was originally single, that would be, I mean, I would still be pathetic. And who wants a pathetic girl? Nobody. Nobody wants a
Yeah.
pathetic, desperate girl. So I needed to change that to not only, I mean, first and foremost, to make myself feel good about me,